So here's some 3v3 action. In the cast of characters, playing as Prussia, this is me. My name is Jay Martin. Thanks for watching. In the middle, playing as Austria, is Robin, is a huntsman guy. And on our left side of our team, playing as Prussia as well, is Bomb Rush. And Bomb Rush has got a ton of tags going on. He's got RM, DH, MGL. Busy man, I imagine. Busy man right there. Our opponents for this battle, if I zoom across the field, playing as Prussia opposite me is The Dawn Part 2, who I think is the most frequent person I play against or something. Anyway, good to see you, Dawn. In the middle, playing as the Dutch, is Yi Soon Shin. I'm guessing this guy may be Korean. And over on this side over here, playing as GB, is Jay Fry. So, Bomb Rush, let me zoom up here. Bomb Rush is taking on Jay Fry, and Robin is taking on Yi Soon Shin, and I'm taking on the Dawn. And I'll probably focus more on what I do because I know what happens to me, but I'll try to get over there for you. What I'm going to try to do, or my kind of general strategy, is to engage the Dawn on the right side of his line, and that way I can turn into the middle to help out Robin and link up with him there. And so what I've done is I've got 5 light infantry here, and I really want to win the light infantry fight, so I've even got a militia that I'm going to stick in front of my light infantry to try to absorb some shots. Interesting, the Don and I think a lot alike because he's doing exactly the same thing. He has his 5, we have the exact same thing. I mean, he has 5 Fusiliers, and he even has a meat shield that he's going to stick in front of them. He has foot guards on the flank, just like actually, I think maybe we brought the same exact build when you get it done. We both have 4 Lancers, yada yada yada. Robin is being really aggressive and running up there. Lately, I've stopped running units in 3v3s. I think that the fatigue is unnecessary. You don't get a whole lot of positional advantage, but you can't move anywhere. The map's so crowded. So lately, I'm not running so much up to engage the opponent. But that causes a little bit of problem here because Robin gets ahead of us, and he's ahead of Bomb Rush too. I think Bomb Rush is running to catch up, and eventually I start running to catch up. But anyway, let me fast forward here to get the light engagement going, and I think I'm going to give the Dawn the first shot here. And if I had one comment on how the light on light skirmish goes, is that I think I'm able to position my guys just a little bit better. This winds up being pretty even, but I think I get a little bit better positioning. And the Don leaves his, I guess for right now, his militia is kind of smack in the middle of his lights. And I think he moves those in front here in a minute. But this is me we're kind of cat and mousing right now to try to get our lights in the best position possible. I probably should have had, this game's a little laggy, so do I finally get these militia in the run? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Robin's kind of paused right here in the middle, and it looks like Bomb Rush is about to start an engagement with these guys here. And Bomb Rush is doing a pretty smart thing. His strategy is he's going to widen his line by bunching his Fusiliers all up together. Let me slow down to play to show you this. What Bomb Rush is doing, which is a pretty good tactic, is he's got his Fusiliers grouped in real close, so he's going to just put out a ton of firepower right there. And then to protect them, he's just got one line unit in the back, sort of as emergency cav protection. But I think Bomb Rush gets that this battle isn't, there's not going to be a whole lot of maneuver, in these 3v3s. So he's not real worried about, I mean, this is obviously bad in a 1v1 match, but he can really get away with it and take advantage of that setup. And on the left side, this is pretty textbook, get your infantry in and then sends Cav in to really give himself an advantage. And I think he gets a pretty clean charge there. Yeah, he gets a really good charge into that unit on the left, and the opponent just counter charges, which again, don't really recommend. Is that a general? Oh, he's got his general in a 15th Hussar. Yeah, not really the best idea. Let me swing back over to what I'm doing. And what had happened, I believe, let me pause to make sense of this, is the Don and I had a really good engagement going on here, and this gets kind of boring because the Don's computer crashes or his game crashes, so an AI takes over for him. So you don't really get to see him do a whole lot. Um, and it's kind of frustrating almost when an AI instantly takes over because you kind of or get a sense of what your opponent is doing, and then all of a sudden this fucking crazy AI takes over and they start moving everywhere. So it's a little challenging, frankly, when an AI takes over because you have to do a lot of repositioning. So, like, I'm trying to wrap around to control this flank here because I don't want these AI units to get into Robin. I think they do that. But frankly, it's a little awkward when an AI takes over. Yeah, and of course the predictably AI isn't terribly good. So I'm able to concentrate a lot of firepower. It causes me a little bit of a awkward thing because a bunch of cav starts running into me or whatever. This is also kind of awkward for Robin because Robin was working on a pretty good encirclement of the Dutch guy. Here you can see he's wrapping around, and then all of a sudden these Prussian units start coming over. So this is Robin moving his cav over to try to control the utter chaos that's erupting on this side. I want to zoom back over to what Bomb Rush is doing. That cav action that he had engaged over here turns out to be super successful. These are his lancers that are left over from that charge, and they're just moving it right down the middle. He's also, you can see, man, that militia is still going. You can see that his strategy is working pretty perfectly. You know, the big group of firepower there, and then he gets a pretty big time lancer advantage, and I mean, just uses that to kind of have overwhelming firepower. And this GB guy is almost dead, it looks like. Robin is crazy. I mean, if the GB guy... I mean, obviously the GB guy has his hands full, but, I mean, Robin has advanced past the opponent on his left. I mean, I gotta think that he's pretty vulnerable there, but... Anyway, right here, the... Korean guy, it looks like there's a big cav charge in the middle. Robin has to retreat his lights. And that's actually a pretty good move from this player. I mean, because what was going on is Robin was moving big with a lot of cav on the right side, and instead of just countercharging, the Korean guy charges in the middle or takes the attack somewhere else, which is exactly what you want to do. The Korean guy continues the charge into the flank of Bomb Rush and catches Bomb Rush. Bomb Rush is obviously looking over here, so I can, you know, really empathize with this. This happens to me all the time. And over on my side, it's a little muddled right now because we're both Prussian, you can't really see, but what's happened is the AI has moved all the units in close, so I just kind of form two lines and try to take this guy out. I think Robin has had to form square just to sort of stem the tide. There's just a lot of those units running around. And back towards the middle, it looks like Robin has got this guy completely disorganized. He's broken 4 cav into the back of him, and he's having problems on the left, but I think he was pretty comfortable with that. His strategy was to go big on the right. Obviously, you can see he's got, like, I don't know, what is that, maybe 14 units on the right, so he was kind of willing to concede on the left. And yeah, I don't know, you might make the argument that he wanted to do more of a holding action on the left rather than sort of get engaged, but it turns out fine. It's just two different sides to the same coin, really. And so that's kind of what's going on in the middle. And you can see that there goes another unit, and that unit's obviously dead. As soon as Robin clears out these 3 cav, which looks like it's about to happen, they're going to run into square. Then his game's going to be functionally over. And then Bomber's just kind of doing the same thing. Or he's winning, but I mean he's wrapping around the Brit guy. What I kind of thought was interesting about this battle is that the 3 of us on our side of the field kind of adopted 3 different techniques, 3 different strategies for 3v3. My move was big on the extreme right. Bomb Rush was a bit more aggressive. He had his lights bunched up in the middle, but then still made a move on the extreme left, but he did that just with line of tree backed up lancer charges, and Robin kind of went, you know, all in, all across the line, and eventually committed his cav to one side. And So it's kind of three different approaches to how to play a 3v3. I think was kind of interesting. On my end, I think there's only one or two bad guy units left, and it's just really a matter of me getting there. And this, I mean, I guess it didn't matter, but yeah, I mean, I guess if all three players kind of win individually, it doesn't really matter. I would think our positioning is a bit awkward because it's going to be really hard for me to give Robin an assist. And while this game was going, because our armies are both kind of facing the same direction, and I'm way behind him, so it's gonna be really hard for me to get help over there. I think these are my lancers that I'm sending in the back to. Um, I'm getting my lancers over there to help him, but it's gonna be really hard for me to get my infantry over there, which I was not stressing out about, but I kind of wished I could get over there and help him a little bit more. I think it's okay because Bomb Rush is going to be able to get on the back of the Dutch player here in a minute. And that's kind of how the battle went. And we're just finishing everybody off. I think it'll take another minute or so to route these Dutch units. But not too long. Man, that that Dutch cav is still going. Heavy cav is not bad on a 3v3. Heavy cav is not bad at all. But anyway, that is, I've got, am I shooting at one more random unit laying around? I think I just got him. Yeah, okay, so I've got everybody dead. And I'm going to start moving over. Bomb Rush is sending his guys over, so it won't be long. So hey, that's a 3v3 game that I played. Yeah, kind of interesting, the three different approaches to how to engage in a 3v3. So hey, I want to say great game to Robin. Thanks for playing with me, and we had TeamSpeak going on the whole time, so we got to chat. He's a really neat guy, And Bomb Rush was like, dude, you have to put this on YouTube. So this got it on YouTube for you, man. And great game to the guys who played with us, Jay Fry over there, and Yisun Shin in the middle, and the Don. Sorry about the crash, man. I think it was kind of weird that we were doing exactly the same build. But anyway, I want to say, ooh, look at those kills. Go me. Anyway, thanks for playing, everybody, and you can check out more information at twreplays.com.